Did you know there are theories suggesting we, modern humans, are not the only intelligent species to have roamed this earth? Picture a world where Neanderthals, our distant relatives, didn't vanish into the annals of history, but instead continue to evolve alongside us. What if they're not extinct, but hidden? What if they've been influencing our world in ways we can't even begin to imagine? Intrigued? Stay tuned as we delve into the uncharted waters of the Neanderthaler conspiracy. Imagine a time 40,000 years ago when Neanderthals and Homo sapiens coexisted. This was a time when the world was a vastly different place, a time when two species of humans walked the earth together. Neanderthals, our closest extinct human relatives, thrived in Eurasia from about 400,000 years ago until they disappeared around 40,000 years ago. The Neanderthals were not quite like us Homo sapiens, yet they were not entirely different either. They had robust bodies and large brains, they used tools, and they cared for their sick and injured. They were, for all intents and purposes, human. Yet here we are, the only remaining human species. What happened to our Neanderthal cousins? The mainstream scientific belief holds that the Neanderthals were unable to compete with our Homo sapien ancestors. They suggest that we outcompeted, outlived, and perhaps even wiped out the Neanderthals. Over time, they faded into extinction, leaving us as the sole heirs of the human lineage. This narrative is widely accepted, but it's not without its critics. Some argue that the evidence doesn't quite add up, that there are gaps and inconsistencies that suggest a different story, a story that challenges our understanding of our past and perhaps our present. But what if we told you not all agree with this narrative? What if the Neanderthals didn't really disappear? What if they're still among us? Welcome to the world of conspiracy theories where Neanderthals never really disappeared. Now this is where things get truly fascinating. Imagine a world where our ancestors, the Neanderthals, never actually went extinct. Instead, they merely adapted, evolved, and continue to live among us, discreetly influencing world events. Crazy, right? But hold on to your hats, because this is the conspiracy we're about to delve into. What if the Neanderthals, the species that we believe became extinct around 40,000 years ago, are not only still alive, but are also playing significant roles in our society? What if they are the puppet masters pulling the strings from behind the scenes, discreetly shaping the course of human history? Consider this. Neanderthals were a species who, much like us, had the ability to think, communicate, and create. They used tools, built shelters, and even had a sense of community. So what's to say they didn't simply adapt and evolve with the times just as we did? The theory suggests that Neanderthals, with their superior strength and resilience, could have survived the harsh climates and challenges of the past. They might have chosen to blend in with the Homo sapiens, their closest relatives, and over time became indistinguishable from us. And here's the clincher. What if these Neanderthals, now living as Homo sapiens, retained some of their unique traits and abilities, giving them an edge in society? What if they used this edge to rise to positions of influence, subtly directing the course of human events from the shadows? It's a thrilling thought, isn't it? The idea that our world might be influenced by a species we thought had vanished from the face of the earth thousands of years ago. It's the stuff of science fiction, yet some believe it to be true. Sounds unbelievable? Let's explore the reasons behind this theory. Let's dive into the evidence backing this theory. Firstly, let's talk about the Neanderthal DNA in modern humans. This is a fact, not fiction. We all have a bit of Neanderthal in us. Scientists have found that up to 2% of the DNA in people with European and Asian ancestry can be traced back to Neanderthals. Even in people of African descent who have significantly less Neanderthal DNA, there's still a trace. Now the question is, how did this happen? The mainstream explanation is interbreeding, but could there be more to the story? Could our ancient ancestors have been more than just hunter-gatherers? Could they have been scientists, geneticists even, experimenting with their own DNA? Moving on, let's consider the unexplained technological advancements. The timeline of human evolution is punctuated by leaps and bounds in technology that don't quite fit. Take, for instance, the sudden appearance of sophisticated stone tools around 70,000 years ago, or the birth of agriculture around 10,000 years ago. These are not gradual improvements. They are quantum leaps in human capability. The mainstream explanation, a lucky mutation, a sudden spark of genius. But again, could there be more to it? Could these leaps in technology have been guided by an unseen hand? Could the Neanderthals with their larger brains have been the masterminds? Finally, let's look at the unaccounted historical events. There are gaps in our history, periods where human civilization seems to have taken a step backward. The Dark Ages, for instance, a time when knowledge and learning seemed to be in decline, when the great libraries of the ancient world were lost or destroyed. The mainstream explanation: wars, invasions, the fall of empires. But could there be another explanation? Could these dark periods have been deliberately orchestrated to erase evidence of the Neanderthals' influence on human civilization? Now I know what you're thinking. This is all conjecture, speculation. There's no smoking gun. And you're right. But consider this. The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because we haven't found definitive proof does not mean it doesn't exist. It may just mean that we're not looking in the right places or asking the right questions. Could these be mere coincidences or signs of a hidden truth? That's for you to decide. But remember, the truth, as they say, is often stranger than fiction. Every theory has its skeptics, and this one is no exception. The Neanderthaler conspiracy theory, like any other, is not without its detractors. It's only fair we explore some of the counter-arguments and criticisms that have been levied against it. Firstly, there are those who argue that the theory relies heavily on speculation rather than solid empirical evidence. They point out that while there's no denying the existence of Neanderthals, the leap from their existence to a grand conspiracy involving them is a bridge too far. It's a game of connecting the dots where not all dots necessarily align. Other critics take issue with the theory's interpretation of archaeological findings. They argue that the supposed artifacts and structures that theorists point to as evidence of Neanderthal advanced civilization are, in fact, natural formations or the result of more recent human activity. They contend that these findings have been misinterpreted and sensationalized to fit the narrative of the conspiracy. Then there are those who question the plausibility of such a conspiracy being kept under wraps for so long. In an age of information where secrets are harder to keep than ever, they find it hard to believe that such a grand conspiracy could remain hidden. Lastly, some critics argue that the theory is, at its core, a form of escapism. They believe it's a way for us to romanticize our past and distract ourselves from the more pressing issues of the present. They caution against getting lost in fantastical theories that divert our attention from the realities we face. But here's the thing. The beauty of theories lies in their ability to challenge the status quo, to make us question and reconsider what we think we know. While it's essential to scrutinize and question these theories, it's equally important to keep an open mind. After all, isn't it the curiosity and the thirst for knowledge that propels us forward? As with all theories, the Neanderthaler conspiracy theory has its believers and skeptics. So, where does this leave us in our quest for truth? We've journeyed through the realm of the Neanderthal conspiracy, exploring intriguing theories, scrutinizing evidence, and considering counter-arguments. We've seen that the conventional narratives may not always hold the full story, and that sometimes the shadows of history may hide more than we initially perceive. Our exploration has revealed that the Neanderthal story might not be as cut and dry as we've been led to believe. The existence of these early hominids, their interaction with modern humans, and their eventual disappearance all hint at a complex tapestry of events that we are only beginning to unravel. In the end, our pursuit of knowledge should never be hindered by preconceived notions. Let us continue to question, to explore, to challenge the established narratives. For it is in this spirit of inquiry that the truth often reveals itself. Remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. We hope this journey into the world of Neanderthals and conspiracy theories has been as intriguing for you as it was for us. We've just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore. What are your thoughts? Are there theories you subscribe to? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share your theories and let's keep the conversation going. For more deep dives into the world of the unknown, subscribe to our channel. Who knows what mysteries we'll unravel next?